Hey YouTube. So as with most of my ideas, it's only after the fact that I think like I should make a video of this because I'm always doing something, but I don't think to make a video of a first thing. I'm not that much of a YouTube superstar or anything like that. So anyway, what you see here is just a regular old dresser that was my wife's when she was a kid. That was roughly the color of it. I've sanded them. So basically, in order to chalk paint a dresser like this and restore it, quite simple. You want to sand it to make, and it literally just a light sanding. I used a palm sander. You could do it by hand. So do a quick sanding. You take off the knobs and stuff. You don't want to mess with those. You could always replace them, or you can just put them ones back on, but you'd always want to remove them. Anyway, you simply sand this whole thing up. Now, if you notice any loose attachments or anything like this within the structure, I would reinforce it. I'm actually going to take PL Premium, which I've mentioned on other such projects, and I'm going to reinforce all the corners. So once that's done and it's painted and I put the knobs back on, that's going to be my daughter's next dresser. Anyway, you have chalk paint, so that's the chalk stuff. That's the clear coat that goes over top of it after you've sanded it, so you'll see what it looks like in the end. So I have my can paint. I'm literally just going to paint one of these. And because they had a kind of a gloss finish to it, I'm going to put on a nice thick coat. This is really odd thing to try and do at this same time, both paint and hold an iPhone. But yeah, actually that one load of paint, like I just loaded this once, and that covered it pretty clearly. This one took like 2 or 3. Anyway, because of that gloss finish, I'm putting on really extra thick coat, and hopefully I only have to paint this one more time. Definitely going to need 2 coats. You might need 3. Really depends on how thick you put it, and you could use a roller. I just was feeling the paintbrush this time. I feel like with that's going to add a different kind of finish to it, like the streaks, rather than just a flat kind of uniform layout of the paint. So anyway, it's the look I'm going for, so not much left. So this is after 3 coats. I've decided to go with 3, even though I could have made away with 2. I just figured like a nice solid color or a nice solid finish where, yes, I am going to be roughing up the edges and sanding away some, but where I don't, I wanted it to be really solid and complete and really chalky looking. So I decided to go with 3 coats, and it's drying right now. So yeah, I'll show you what I've done after I'm finished sanding down everything. Like I don't think I'm going to go crazy on the sanding. I think I'm just going to do a little bit of the edges, like just a wear and tear kind of look to it. So nothing crazy and nothing too dramatic. It is for a child, after all. So this is actually the first time I've actually had somebody video me. Anyway, I've already gone through the sanding phase, which I don't think I really need to explain much. You sand it, you do around the corners, you do whatever you want. It's kind of an art form. And I put it all together, had my wife take a look at it. She said she put in her 2 cents, and I sanded it a little bit more where she wanted it, and now I'm applying a top coat. One thing I keep doing and I keep regretting is the fact that I buy cheap paintbrushes, and now the big thing about cheap paintbrushes, your bristles are going to come off, and especially in this clear coat, you don't like, this just is a really thick substance. It's almost like a glue, so it's actually tearing the bristles out as I'm painting, which has been a real pain in the ass. But long story short, put it thin because it'll start to droop down and then develop like large clumps. After you've finished a piece, go around, make sure there's no large clumps on the edges, And then, yeah, do it slowly. I'm going to do 2 coats just because it's going to be what protects it, and I want this to last a long time. So yeah, that's how you put the clear coat on. So this is the finished product in my daughter's room. I have it just with the light from the window coming in. I'll show you a different angle. And that is with the light above on. You can see, well, it all turned out pretty good. I like it. My wife likes it. It's got that distressed look to it, which was quite easy to do. And like I even had like, I wore off an area where you would like kick it with your foot because it was the lower one. I tried to be artistic about it yet again. Less was more on this. You definitely don't want to do too much. So yeah. That is chalk paint. That's a green chalk paint that you can buy at Home Hardware. I'm sure you can buy other type of paints, different. This is like the chalk paint, but I know there's other brands out there. So it was pretty simple, and these were the original knobs that came on them. It was it's definitely a retro look. That thing is probably over 50 to 80 years old, because it was in Megan's father's mother's house, and he's like 60 something. So yeah, actually no, it'd probably be closing on 80 to 100 years old. That was from an old farmhouse. Anyway, that's my little girl's next dresser, her big girl dresser. Very happy with it. So yeah, that was the final product. Some takeaway points. I only put 1 layer of that protective coating on it. After, like when I started applying the second one over top of the top part of the dresser, it started to bubble, and I think that's just like it's drying underneath one that is freshly applied. Still, like it was dry, but anyway, it just started to bubble, and if I hadn't noticed that, the entire thing would have been ruined. So I would only recommend with this chalk paint stuff and probably a lot of different sealants, either let it dry a lot longer or just apply 1 coat. The other, it doesn't seem to make a huge difference. It just kind of seals the chalk paint. But other than that, it was all pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You're going to sand off whatever you're most comfortable with. Have fun with it. It was very messy. A lot of like easily made dust. So I should have worn a respirator. I didn't because I was too lazy to go into the house to get it. I did it pretty quickly. But yeah, if you're in an enclosed space, wear a respirator. I had my bay door open. Other than that, yeah, have fun with it. And this was a fun video to make. I think I have another one on the go within the next few days, just new projects that I'm picking up. Soon I'm going to be sealing my driveway. I'll make a video about that. Yeah, more to come.